The 2024 Kansas City Chiefs season is over, and it did not end the way that any of us want it. Now, I have to say this up front. I am dedicated to daily content here on the channel. I understand that many of us will be taking some point in time off of Chiefs content. I will not be. And so I need to say, if you are one of the 20 or so individuals who unsubscribed from this channel after the Kansas City Chiefs allegedly lost in the Super Bowl, then the content will be waiting for you when and if you decide to come back to the channel. So I wanted to, in the wake of this season, sort of set up a little bit of what it is that I am going to be doing in the offseason. Again, I am dedicated to daily Chiefs content because I remember what it was like before I was a content creator on the Kansas City Chiefs and wanted content, and there was none. Now there is a glut of Kansas City content right now, but that might not always be the case if uh, it's difficult to do this. Like, I understand that this is not working in the salt mines, but it is a large time investment, and there's probably going to be some content creators during the offseason that decide to take some time off. So I wanted to walk through the plans that I have for this offseason, and if you have any plans or any ideas, of things that you would like to see on the channel during the offseason, let me know that in the comments section. But we're going to start right here. There is an article from Bleacher Report titled NFL Free Agency 2025 Start Date, Salary Cap Rumors, and Early Predictions by Christopher Knox. And I'm just reading this to just sort of give an outline here of what we are to expect during the beginnings of the offseason. Teams can begin applying for the franchise tag on February 18th. That is just over a week from today, and have until March 4th to do so. Impending free agents can be legally contacted on March 10th, and the market will officially open at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on March 12th, roughly a month from today. Fans can expect a flurry of early activity this offseason, too. Several notable players are expected to become available, and the salary cap is expected to rise as much as $275 million, which would be nearly $20 million increase over the 2024 cap. The reason I am lining this up, leading up to free agency, I will be making free agency ranking videos here on the channel. During free agency, obviously, I will make videos about anybody that the Kansas City Chiefs sign. I will likely be making videos about players that the Kansas City Chiefs lose, which is to say, not necessarily highlighting that player, but what the Kansas City Chiefs might do at that position in the future. I do not know. This is not something that is not a type of video that I have made in the past on this channel. As far as talking about the players who have left, I've just kind of decided they weren't part of the team, so why cover that? But going forward, I think I am going to do so. Now, the next is this. The next big idea for the off season is this 2025 NFL draft order for round 1, top 5 needs for all 32 teams entering the offseason from NFL.com by Chad Reuter. With the 2024 NFL season officially in the books, the order for the first round of the 2025 NFL draft is set. Now, the work of figuring out who will fill those slots takes center stage with the NFL Scouting Combine just around the corner, February 23rd through March 4th in Indianapolis. I did not remember this being so early in the off season in the past. In the immediate aftermath of Super Bowl licks, here's the current order for round 1, ... I wanted to get this out there for Kansas City. They say 15-2 biggest needs: defensive tackle, offensive guard, offensive tackle, wide receiver, edge. I think we would put this one here all the way at number 1. The article then goes on to say the Chiefs might need to overhaul the trenches in the draft, as their only defensive tackle under contract for the 2025 NFL season is All-Pro Chris Jones. Plus, they could be in the market for new starters at left tackle and right guard if Trey Smith leaves in free agency. I will do my best to link my NFL draft channel in the description below. That is where I will be talking a little bit more about general draft ideas. But on this channel, we will be focusing on the Kansas City Chiefs. I will probably make ranking videos going over specific positions that the Kansas City Chiefs will need to acquire through the draft. Defensive tackle, offensive tackle, wide receiver, and edge stand out. Offensive guard, I still have to do a little bit more digging, but I will probably make one for that position. I will probably make one for running backs, but on my draft channel, a link to which will be found in the description below, so long as I remember. I will do more general draft coverage if that is something into which you are interested. But on this channel, I will be doing mock drafts. I will be doing coverage. One thing I didn't do a whole lot of last year, but I do plan on doing more of this season, is covering other people's thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs draft. That is to say, sort of, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. It depends on what kind of media coverage is out there, but it could be videos based on other people's mock drafts. It could be compilations of other people's projected first-round picks for the Kansas City Chiefs, things like that. The draft coverage here is, I like to think, second to none in the Chiefsosphere. A lot of the work on that is either mock drafts or the analysis of the draft picks themselves. Once the draft is done, there is a playlist right now on the channel of all of the draft picks from last season and the thoughts that I shared about them immediately after they were drafted. I am looking to expand that series this season, hopefully having a few different videos per draft pick, kind of different ways of analyzing the pick and things like that. I think that this is going to be a very eventful draft for the Kansas City Chiefs. They have 4 picks in the first 3 rounds of the draft. They will have 3 picks in the top 65 because the pick from the Titans, I believe, is 65th. I believe that is the 65th pick in the draft. If not, it's the 66th. But it should be right up there in the 3rd round, so that will be a very valuable piece as well. I imagine we are going to get some movement from the roster. There is a lot of speculation that perhaps Trey Smith will be tagged and traded as opposed to allowed to move in free agency. Now, you tag him and trade him. I don't know that you get a 3rd or 4th round pick out of him just because the offensive guard position is one that does not get valued very heavily. If you let him walk in free agency, I think it's likely you get a 3rd or 4th round compensatory pick. The problem is that comes next season, not this season. This season is when the Kansas City Chiefs, in my opinion, are likely to be going through something of a rebuild. So I don't know if Trey Smith, if you're moving on from Trey Smith, I don't know that allowing him to walk is the most beneficial to, obviously it's not the most beneficial to next season's squad because A, you don't have Trey Smith, and B, you will not have the compensatory pick for him until the next season. So I will have a lot of draft coverage. The next thing on the list here is position by position post-mortems. I would like to dedicate some time on the channel to going position by position through the roster and looking at what 2024 was for the Kansas City Chiefs. How did these players execute? Will these players be back? Will these players hopefully or hopefully not sign future contracts with the Kansas City Chiefs, etc., etc. And then finally, and again, if you have any ideas on what you want to see me cover here, be sure to leave those in the comments section. The final thing that I have sort of laid out there is rookie recaps. I am going to be going through the rookie class player by player and doing a video on each one of them and what their rookie season meant, what we can expect from them going forward, etc. So that is what I have for the channel planned in the off season over the next couple of months. Hitting the like button really does help me out. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, consider hitting the subscribe button to stick around for more content in the future. It's going to be all Chiefs all the time, and it might be a couple weeks until we get maybe a dual upload day like I've been trying to do more recently, more and more double upload days. It might be a couple weeks before that just because of figuring out where we are with things. But yeah, I hope to have you back for the next one.